was me being chased by a sock puppet.
There was one where I was a bit scared of these random wolves.
The unknown, I think. Because the sock puppet, of course, as a prime example, is not expected to be a very scary object. But then when it starts chasing you and trying to bite your legs off, it does become quite intimidating.
I never actually saw them, I remember being scared of them.
I do often get chased and eaten by things.
We have this well in our garden and I just remember something in there which I was scared of.
I had this dream where my mum died and my dad married my form tutor. It was so scary.
I was being chased by a lion and I was in a park. Then everyone seemed to know that the lion was coming. You know, in dreams you get the idea that there are certain known factors. And everyone started running and I was the slowest and I kept running and running and running and running. And then I fell over and then I looked up and I could see like my friends in the distance. But the lion was on me, but then it would jump on me and really bite the back of my neck, and that's the moment when I'd wake up. And then I'd wake up with a really hot sweat around my neck.
I was playing this game on a Game Boy about this like pig, and then the pig just like came out of the screen and started like rampaging around the house.
It often seemed to be based around animals and chasing.
I've had a nightmare about getting cancer a few times.
Basically, there's a big warehouse and I couldn't get in through the front door, so there's a staircase to the side. You walk up there and go inside, and there's a zip line to go across. It's pitch black and there's only a light on the other side. And then you can hear things. And you look down and you realise it's pretty high up. When you go across, there's a ladder down. You go down and there's a big maze. You can still hear things, it's like, not great.
I have dreams that a particular teacher would wrap me up in a carpet and throw me down a flight of stairs. I dreamt that I was chased by a massive snake.
I broke my nose for some unknown reason, and I was looking at my nose in the mirror and I was trying to fix my nose and it was bleeding and I was wondering what was happening.
I think it's the fact that you're locked in your own world and you can't get out. And it's just the dream keeps you a prison until you finally wake up.
I have one where I'm in a house and I'm with someone I don't know and this gang of people come in and I have to run out the back door and they go upstairs and I'm in the garden watching this gang of people go to someone's bedroom and kill this person, but I don't know who it is.
I think when I have quite dramatic days, then I dream quite a lot.
Recently actually I had a dream where I heard noises in my house and my family were there, and then I heard this man whisper in my ear, but there was no one there. There was just like this man whispering, and it felt really real, and I woke up and I thought that there was someone in my room.
In split seconds before something happens, you know something's about to happen, but you can't stop it. That sense that you often get in dreams where you want to escape, but and kind of know it's just a dream, but then can't wake up. It's either about a certain situation or it's about a certain emotion, in which case the same thing applies, how you can't escape that emotion in a way.
I had one where I was a hedgehog and I crossed the road and my mum walked in and found me sitting up nodding my head with my thumbs up.
I used to dream that I was suspended in jelly and then I couldn't breathe and I was about to die.
I used to get chased by a witch, but but yeah, that was just when I was younger.
They would have ranged from the complex to the simple, I suppose, you know. The old one where a dinosaur chases after you, that's a classic. Everyone's had that, being fair, haven't they? And then you got the weird ones, the wacky ones, where all sorts happen. You know, you go out in the garden, the gnome attacks you, and then the trees jump on you. Things you see on TV that scare you, and you can't really forget them while you're a child, because you have rather a basic mind. Not that I have a basic mind. And that they seem to follow you into your sleep, I suppose, and that's where they get you.
I think the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Probably influence of Jurassic Park.
Someone chasing after me and I couldn't run properly, and I got stuck, and it seemed like I was running through deep mud and they just ran after me and I couldn't run properly. It was rather scary. Or the falling sensation where you feel like you're falling and wake up then you realise you're not. That one's horrible.
I have this thing where I'm drifting off to sleep and then I get the feeling that I'm falling and I suddenly wake up and jump out of bed.
Well, it can sometimes be falling and then you wake up and the entire, like my body just jerks because it's falling over and you think that, or it can be tripping over something, you get the feeling, that sort of panic that you get when you fall over or when you trip over, and your body instantly reacts to it. And there's a weird line between being in the dream and being awake when you react, and you're reacting but you're in bed, so you're sort of reacting, falling over when you're lying down.
I sometimes get a dream where like I've been pushed over, or like I've been like burnt or something. Like I had this dream where I think I like tried to set something on fire with a toaster, and then like my arm caught on fire, and then I woke up, and like, you know, sometimes you wake up from a dream and you still sort of feel it, like I can feel my arm hurting. It's ow.
No, I don't think I've ever had a falling dream, except when you like, you know, when you're like half asleep and then you like twitch because you think you're like falling or running or something, and then you're like, whoa, yeah, I have that.
I'm a simple person. I tend to focus very much on being eaten or falling off something or getting shot by some girl in my class with a sniper rifle out of a window. I've always had a bit of a fear of zombies, so actually I've been dreaming about zombies a lot recently. In the past like 9 days I've had like 4 dreams, but that's because I've been playing a zombie game. It probably isn't the cleverest thing to be doing. So I was chased by zombies that were like trying to eat me and then spit and stuff at me. And then in another one, zombies were like at desks doing administration. I didn't really get that one. Just weird stuff really. Oh, and in one I fell off a cliff with zombies pushing me off. I landed and I didn't feel any pain, and then I woke myself up using my mind.
I generally have a nice night's sleep, but occasionally George Riley gets in there, and that's terrible. Or Graham McEwen, that's the worst. When Graham McEwen turns up, you know you're in trouble.
I had one where I think I got sent out of the classroom, and this was a traumatic experience in my life. I was sent out of the classroom, and I got the stamp of badness put on my hand, and there was this big man who was like trying to put me in a cupboard. When something is coming for you and you don't know what it is, or something that's just plain horrific. Worst dreams are the ones where something bad happens and then you think you wake up and you haven't actually woken up, and then you look off the edge of your bed and suddenly there will be the thing that was coming for you in the nightmare, and it's holding you down. It's not good.
The worst nightmare ever is when you wake up and you don't realise it's a nightmare and you think it's still part of your life. But I had one that was for GCSE. I thought I had got all straight X's or U's, and I woke up and I walked downstairs dreading because I thought it was the day after I got my results, and I asked, and it was about 2 days before.
The worst thing is when someone's getting hurt or when it feels really real.
Sometimes I have dreams which are so vivid and it's involved someone dying or me being told about someone's death. I actually wake up and I'm unsure whether it's happened or not.
The short round character from Indiana Jones 2.
Well, once I had this dream, I was in a potato field, and then I was like digging for potatoes for some reason, and then I ended up digging up loads of like deer heads, and they just randomly started popping out of the ground.
I was walking by a lake and there's sort of this face in it, and I know it wasn't my grandma, but it's sort of, she was meant to, in the dream she was symbolising my grandma for some reason, and I sort of went to reach and sort of go and help her or something, and then I remember falling and just falling and it being really cold.
I had this other dream where for some reason there was this big letter K and it was on fire. I don't know why, but you know, that's it really.
I was sort of standing outside somewhere and then a car was coming towards me, and inside the car was Dumbledore, and he ran me into a wall.
I had one where my aunt turned into a huge spider that started chasing me around the house. That was pretty scary. At the time I had one about these random people in the church, and they had no eyes and they were sort of like chasing me around as well. So that was really scary, and I couldn't sleep for like 3 days.
I woke up and I came downstairs and there was a hole at the bottom of the stairs, no edges to it, and I walked down the stairs and had a look inside, and there was my dad at the bottom of the hole, and I couldn't hear anything until I stood over and was looking at him. He was screaming, and that rattled me a bit. So I went on through the house, and there was another hole in a different room, and there was my mum in that, and every time I moved or looked around, there was just a different hole with another one of my family members in it. So I was just wandering around a house with holes all over the floor with people who I knew and loved screaming and terrified in, and I could do absolutely nothing about it.
And I wake up from the crib and I sort of look out, and Bo wouldn't be in his crib opposite, my twin. And then so I climb out and I go into my parents' room, and then I'd see Bo, my dad, and my mum, and sort of you'd be able to see their legs in the bed, but then I saw like cartoon wolves eating them.
I didn't like the feeling that I was totally unable to do anything to help anyone.
Generally it's sort of being taken or being stopped from doing something or restrained, but the main part of the nightmare is not being able to scream. I want to scream, but I can't. A sort of a rasping voice comes out, and it feels helpless because you can't call for help and you can't do anything.
But they're not really like dying dreams, more like suicide dreams. But not in a suicide way, it's just like, I don't know. It's just like jumping off a building or something like that. But you're not really killing yourself.
Do you ever get those nightmares where you just get a sense of fear or like something that you can't actually see?
No.